Hello and welcome to Efficient Strategy Gaming. Today I'd like to talk to you guys about air and port supply. As you can see, I'm playing as the Soviet Union and I've taken the south of England here, and my forces need to get supply, fuel, etc. in order to operate. So there are two ways that you're able to supply your troops in Hearts of Iron 4 when you're on an island like this. One is through the port supply, and you can see all these trade routes here that are going on. And we're basically supplying the troops in the south of England here through this white supply route. The other routes are trade between other countries. They're trading raw materials. And so the way that port supply works is supply comes from every nation's capital, which is in this case, you can see the arrow coming from Moscow. And there's an equation basically by distance. We won't get into that, but what the AI is doing here to supply my troops in the south of England is it's taking the largest port that's on the nearest landmass, which is Brittany here. The port is a 10 out of 10. And then it is using this naval route in order to supply the largest port in southern England to connect the troops with supply. So the largest port down here is Portsmouth in the province of Sussex. And as you can see, it's a 10 out of 10 naval base as well. So you can get supplies over land and then oversea, but you can also get supplies through the air. So I have air transports here in this airport, and I have 26 air transports, and I'll show you how they're supplying the troops here in southern England. If you look towards the bottom there, it says air supply, so they are supplying 1.35 units of supply to southern England, which isn't a lot considering that it says at the top there supported 67.35. So you have a total of, I think it was 26, 27 air transports, which is to me a lot. It takes a lot to build up to that point, and they are only supplying a trickle of supply, 1.35. But if you had troops that were surrounded, this could make the difference. So if you're in a situation with, like me, it's 1945 and you have extra military factories, you might want to put a few into air transports. The other aspect that I did not realize about Hearts of Iron 4 is that airports take supply as well. So let's see here. Go into the right tab. So here's an airport here. I almost have it full with 1,560 air vehicles. And so if we go over to the supply tab, it's going to tell us how much supply is being consumed by these air vehicles, and it's 4.68. So not a lot. It looks like the Army is consuming 8.68, but they're currently not on an offensive. As soon as I turn the battle plan on, I'm sure that these forces would run out of supply. So the question would be, how would I enhance supply to the south of England? Well, I can get that air vehicles out of these airports and just run them off of the coast here. That would relieve some of the supply issues, 4.68 points of supply. And then over here, it looks like the air is consuming 5.84 points of supply, so that could relieve some of the supply burden. The other things that I could do is build infrastructure in the south of England, which I will do. And I don't think that improving the port is really going to help me. I'm building 2 ports here just in case I lose other provinces, but I don't think that it's going to be an effective strategy anymore. So we're going to go ahead and stop building that since Portsmouth is fairly well defended. And we'll put the infrastructure, we'll raise the priority of the infrastructure. And it would probably help if I maxed out the infrastructure leading up to Brittany. So we'll do that as well. And we'll move those up to the top of the construction priority. So if you guys have any questions about supply, please leave them down in the comment box below. If you guys have any info to expand upon that I didn't touch on this video, please leave a comment below. Thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.